Every deadliest spiders video you have seen here tells you the same lie, that the most venomous spider is the most dangerous one. It isn't. The most famous killer of them all, the Black Widow, hasn't killed anyone in America since 1983. And the spider sending more people to hospital every year isn't even on most deadliest lists. So we threw out the old list. We ranked these 13 spiders by what their venom actually does to a real human body, backed by real cases, real survivors, and real deaths. By the end, you'll never look at a quiet corner of your house the same way again. Number 1. Sydney funnel web. You pull on your boot, something is already inside it. This is the Sydney funnel web spider, one of the most feared spiders in Australia. It lives around Sydney and nearby parts of New South Wales, and it is the males you have to worry about most, because the males wander. They leave their burrows looking for a mate. They cross backyards. They slip into garages. They can end up inside houses, under objects, or inside a shoe left by the door. And if you trap one by accident, it may not run. Its fangs are large, strong, and built to stab downward. Large funnel webs can even have fangs strong enough to pierce a human fingernail. When it bites, it holds on, and it strikes again and again. The venom goes after your nerves. Within minutes, the body can start reacting. You sweat, you drool, your muscles twitch and spasm. Breathing can become difficult. Your body stops listening to you. And in the worst cases, this can kill you in as little as 15 minutes. On the 5th of February 1927, a small child was sitting on the laundry steps of a house in Thornley, near Sydney. A funnel web bit him on the little finger. By that same evening, he was gone. He was the first recorded person killed by this spider. He would not be the last. Before modern antivenom, funnel web bites were linked to 13 known deaths. Most of those deaths were blamed on male Sydney funnel webs. But here is what almost no one tells you. In 1981, antivenom became available, and since that day, not one person has died from a confirmed Sydney funnel web bite. Not one. In 2017, a 10-year-old boy named Matthew Mitchell was helping his dad clear out a shed north of Sydney. A funnel web was hiding in his shoe. It bit his finger and would not let go. His family wrapped his own shirt tightly around his arm to slow the venom, then rushed him to hospital. By the time he got there, he was convulsing. Doctors gave him 12 vials of antivenom, believed to be the largest dose ever used in Australia. And Matthew lived. That shirt around the arm, remember it, because later we will come back to why that one move may have saved his life. The Sydney funnel web is terrifying, but at least there is a treatment. The next spider on our list is different. For that one, there is no cure at all. Number 2. Six-eyed sand spider. Deep in the deserts of southern Africa, something is waiting under the sand. You can't see it, you'll never see it, because it buried itself hours ago, and now only its eyes are watching. This is the six-eyed sand spider. It doesn't chase, it doesn't hunt. It simply lies in wait, buried in the sand, for something to pass too close. And its venom may be one of the most dangerous spider venoms ever studied. Most deadly spiders attack your nerves. This one is different. Its venom destroys flesh and blood at the same time. It rots the skin around the bite, killing the tissue from the inside, and it breaks open your blood cells, so your own blood begins to leak out through the vessels. And in the lab, drop for drop, its venom appears even more frightening than the brown recluse, the spider already famous for wounds that rot open and refuse to heal. Now here is the part that should scare you the most. There is no antivenom. None has ever been made. If this spider gives you its full bite, doctors have almost nothing to fight it with. So how many people has it killed? And this is the strangest thing of all. We don't actually know. In all of history, there is not one single confirmed bite on a human. Only 2 are even suspected. In one, the victim lost an entire arm to the rot. In the other, the victim bled to death from the inside. The good news, it is shy, and it lives far from people. It doesn't want you. But the next spider is the opposite. It comes into your home, it hides in your food, and it has been called the most venomous spider in the world. Number 3. Brazilian wandering spider. The six-eyed sand spider is terrifying because it hides far from people. This spider is terrifying because it can come close. The Guinness World Records once named it the most venomous spider on Earth. It does not sit in a web and wait, it wanders. At night, the Brazilian wandering spider walks across the forest floor, hunting in the dark. During the day, it hides wherever it can find cover, under logs, inside dark spaces, in clothing, in shoes, and sometimes in bunches of fruit. That is why people also call it the banana spider. But that name can be confusing, because many harmless spiders are called banana spiders too. This one is different. This is Phonutria, the armed spider, and when it feels threatened, it shows you why. It rises up on its back legs, it lifts its front legs into the air, it exposes its fangs. And instead of looking like a spider trying to escape, it looks like a spider warning you not to take one more step. Then comes the bite. The venom attacks your nervous system. There is burning pain, you sweat, and you start to lose control of your body. And in men, the venom causes one of the strangest and most painful effects of any bite in the world, an erection that will not go down, for hours, while the rest of the body suffers. But here is the honest truth, the part the scary videos leave out. In over 100 years, this spider has been blamed for only about 15 deaths in all of Brazil. Most of the time it gives a dry bite, a warning, with little or no venom. Its reputation is bigger than its body count. And still, the most venomous spider in the world, living in the one place you feel safest, your home. The next spider doesn't poison your nerves. It does something slower, something you can watch happen to your own skin, day after day. Number 4. Chilean recluse. It's in the corner of the room, behind the dresser, inside a shirt you haven't worn in months. It doesn't want to be found, which is why, in its homeland, they call it the corner spider. This is the Chilean recluse, and of all the recluse spiders in the world, this is the most dangerous one. Its venom stronger than the brown recluse, stronger even than the six-eyed sand spider. You probably won't even feel the bite. Most people don't. There's a tiny prick, and then nothing. You go to sleep, you go to work, you forget it ever happened. Because at first, the venom doesn't hurt. It can take hours to show what it's quietly doing underneath. Then the skin begins to change, a pale mark, ringed in red, like a small target drawn on your body. And from there it spreads and darkens, until the flesh at the center is simply dying, leaving a wound that, in the worst cases, takes months or even years to heal, and a scar that never fully leaves. For most people it ends at the skin, but not for everyone. In a few, the venom slips into the blood, and the body starts to shut down from the inside. In one long study in Chile, it killed 3 to 4 out of every 100 people bitten, and it's the children and the elderly who suffer the most. That's what makes it so frightening. By the time you know something is wrong, hours have passed, and it's already too late to undo. And it never came looking for you. It bit because you rolled onto it in your sleep, because you reached into the jacket it was hiding in. You came to it. So far, every spider here has killed slowly, or killed rarely. The next one kills fast. Most people have never even heard its name, and they think Australia has only one deadly funnel web. They are wrong. Number 5. Northern tree-dwelling funnel web. Everyone knows the Sydney funnel web, but almost no one knows about its bigger, deadlier cousin, the one that doesn't hide in the ground, the one that lives above your head. This is the northern tree-dwelling funnel web. Scientists gave it the name formidabilis. In Latin, that simply means terrifying. It is the largest funnel web in the world, a heavy, glossy black spider that can grow to the length of your finger. And unlike the Sydney funnel web, which hides in burrows in the ground, this one climbs. It lives in the trees. When something threatens it, it rears up, lifts its fangs, and you can see the drops of venom waiting on the tips. Its venom is considered the most toxic of any funnel web alive. And because this spider is so big, it may inject far more of it into you in a single bite, leading some scientists to call it drop for drop, possibly the deadliest spider in the world. Here's what that bite does. Within 15 to 20 minutes, your body starts to break down. You sweat, your muscles spasm, and then comes the worst part. Your lungs begin to fill with fluid. You start to drown, slowly, from the inside, on dry land. Remember the Sydney funnel web? Out of every 100 of its serious bites, around 17 turn severe. For this one, that number jumps to more than 60. When this spider bites you properly, the odds are no longer in your favor. There is only one mercy. It lives in the trees, away from people, so it bites far fewer humans than the Sydney funnel web does. That is the only reason it isn't more famous. Rare, but when it strikes, it's worse. Number 6. Brown recluse. You met its cousin earlier, the Chilean recluse of South America. This is the one that haunts the United States, the brown recluse. There may be one hiding in American homes right now, and most people will never know. It does not want to meet you. It hides behind boxes, inside closets, under furniture, in old clothes, in bed sheets, and in shoes. Almost every bite is an accident. You roll over in bed, you pull on a shirt, you slide your foot into a shoe, and suddenly the spider is trapped against your skin. So it bites. At first, you may barely notice it. A tiny sting, a little redness, maybe nothing at all. Then, hours later, the skin can begin to change. A pale center appears. A red ring forms around it. Then the middle can darken. Blue, purple, black. That is the part people fear most. The tissue is dying. This is called necrosis. In simple words, the venom can kill the skin around the bite. Most brown recluse bites do not become giant wounds. That is important. Many ugly skin infections are blamed on this spider when the spider was never proven. But when the bite is real and the reaction is severe, the damage can be brutal. In one reported case, a young woman suffered a suspected recluse bite near the ear. The tissue around the ear died so badly that surgeons had to rebuild the area using skin from another part of her body. And in rare cases, the venom can reach beyond the skin. It can affect the blood, strain the kidneys, and become life-threatening, especially for children. The Chilean recluse is the more dangerous relative, but the brown recluse is the one many Americans fear most. Because it does not need the jungle, it does not need the desert, it only needs a quiet corner in your home. And the next time you put on a shoe, that thought may be enough to make you stop. Number 7. Mouse spider. In gardens and bushland across Australia, there's a big, black, heavy-bodied spider that most people walk straight past because they think it's something else. And the males carry a warning the others don't. A pair of fangs that gleam a bright, glossy red. And here is its secret. Its venom is almost identical to a funnel web's. In the lab, scientists found it just as powerful. And when someone is badly bitten, the only thing that saves them is the very same antivenom kept for the funnel web. So why have you never heard of it? Why isn't it as feared? Because of one strange, lucky fact. The mouse spider almost never uses its full strength. It carries one of the most dangerous venoms of any spider alive. And yet, again and again, it bites and barely injects anything at all. It's a loaded gun that rarely fires. Even today, scientists don't fully understand why, but it can fire. And there is one case that proves it. A young child in Australia was bitten, and this time the venom went in. The child developed the severe signs of a funnel web victim. Doctors reached for the funnel web antivenom, the only weapon they had, and the child responded. That single case is why no one gambles with this spider. In funnel web country, every bite from a big black spider is treated as deadly until proven otherwise. Because nobody wants to be there the one time the mouse spider decides to use everything it has. It hides its danger behind a quiet bite. The next spider hides too, but in a different way. It has crept silently out of its homeland, into buildings on the other side of the world. Number 8. Mediterranean recluse. In 2021, staff at the University of Michigan ran a routine pest check in one of their libraries. Down in the basement, they found something they weren't expecting. A population of recluse spiders living quietly in the dark. They closed the building for 2 days. This is the Mediterranean recluse, and its real talent isn't its bite, it's travel. It began life around the Mediterranean Sea, but somewhere along the way, it learned to hitch a ride with us, in boxes, in cargo, in shipped goods, and it has spread to nearly every continent on Earth. It's now ranked among the most invasive spiders in the world. It slips into basements and tunnels and the deep insides of buildings and settles in, sometimes in a single building, unnoticed, for years. And yes, it's a recluse. Like its cousins, its bite can turn a small wound into rotting skin. In Menorca, a woman pulled on a jumper she'd left folded away, felt a sharp sting on her arm, and spent the next 2 days in pain so bad she couldn't sleep. So the real chill isn't the wound. It's the thought that this quiet little traveler could be living in the walls around you right now, by the dozens, and you would never ever know. Number 9. Peacock tarantula. Some spiders hide their danger. This one advertises it. It is, without question, one of the most beautiful spiders on Earth. Its whole body a shimmering electric blue, traced with pale swirling patterns, as if someone painted it by hand. It looks unreal, like a living jewel. This is the peacock, or metallic tarantula, the only blue tarantula in the world. It comes from a single small patch of forest in India, and nowhere else. It's so rare and so stunning that collectors pay a fortune for one, which is exactly why it's now critically endangered and why it ends up in homes all over the world. And that beauty is a trap. It belongs to a group called the ornamental tarantulas, and among the people who keep spiders, these are infamous for the worst bite of any tarantula. It has no irritating hairs to flick like other tarantulas. It has only two weapons, blinding speed and venom. It won't kill you. But here's what it does. A man in Switzerland was bitten by his pet ornamental tarantula. At first, not much. Then, hours later, the cramps began, deep, violent muscle spasms seizing his body. He went to hospital. There was no antivenom because none exists. Doctors could only treat the pain. And the cramps didn't last hours or days. They lasted 3 weeks. In some cases, the venom even throws the heart out of rhythm. So this is the cruel bargain of the most beautiful spider in the world. It's the very beauty that makes people want to pick it up, and picking it up is exactly how it gets you. Number 10. Redback. It was an ordinary morning on a building site in Sydney. A 21-year-old tradesman stepped into the portable toilet, the way he had 100 times before. He sat down, and something under the seat sank its fangs into him. In the worst possible place. It was a redback. Australia's most infamous spider, a cousin of the black widow. You'd know the female if you saw her. Jet black, with a single blood-red stripe down her back. She doesn't hunt people. She waits in quiet, sheltered corners, under chairs, in sheds, beneath toilet seats, and bites when something presses against her. At first it was just a sharp sting. Then the pain began to climb, spreading out from the bite, getting worse instead of better. Sweating, a racing heart, the kind of pain that for some people drags on for days. He drove himself to hospital, got the antivenom, and recovered. And that should have been the end of the story. It wasn't. 5 months later, in another portable toilet, it happened again. Same spot. He looked down and saw the little legs come around the rim, and he knew. He later called himself the unluckiest man in Australia. The hospital staff recognized him the moment he walked in. It sounds almost like a joke. The pain was not. But here's the honest truth about the redback. For all its reputation, it almost never kills. Since antivenom arrived in the 1950s, there hasn't been one confirmed death. The redback is famous. But Australia hides another spider, one almost nobody talks about, whose venom is so dangerous that doctors treat it with the very same antivenom they keep for a funnel web. Number 11. Noble false widow. It doesn't look like a killer. It's small, about the size of a coin. You'll find it on a windowsill, behind a curtain, around a doorframe. There are millions of them now, living quietly in homes across Britain and far beyond. It is officially the most dangerous spider in Britain. It's a cousin of the black widow, carrying a weaker version of the same nerve venom. It arrived over 100 years ago, hidden in crates of fruit, and as the winters grew milder, it spread and spread, until it became one of the most common spiders in the country. For most people, the bite is no worse than a bee sting. But not always. Take Steve Harris, a 22-year-old footballer from Devon. He was bitten in his sleep and woke with a stinging pain in his side. It swelled. It got worse. By the time he reached hospital, surgeons had to cut the poisoned flesh out of him, leaving an open wound. "I was in agony," he said. "I have never had pain like that before." And here's what makes it genuinely dangerous. Its bite can carry bacteria, sometimes the kind ordinary antibiotics struggle to kill. So a small wound can turn into a serious infection. Across England, hospital visits for spider bites have doubled in just 10 years. Number 12. Brown widow. It came from Africa, and today it lives on every continent except Antarctica. In North America, it was once mostly known from Florida. Then it moved along the Gulf Coast, into the southeastern United States, and into Southern California. But the strange part is not just that it is spreading. The strange part is what it is replacing. Across parts of the southern United States, brown widows are pushing out black widows, and researchers found it is not just luck. In tests, brown widows actively sought out black widows and attacked them far more often than they attacked other related spiders. The shy, famous black widow was being hunted by its smaller brown cousin, and yet for humans, the twist is almost backwards. The brown widow may be winning the spider war, but its bite is usually less dangerous than the black widows. We do have a real medical record of what it can do. A 41-year-old man in Florida was working in his garage when a brown widow bit him on the forearm. He felt the bite, killed the spider, and brought it with him to the emergency room. The bite caused pain, a spreading rash, and nausea. So yes, this spider can hurt you, but here's the twist. Drop for drop, its venom is just as toxic as the black widow's. Yet it's a coward. It injects so little that most bites stay mild. The spider conquering your neighborhood is the least dangerous widow of all. So the brown widow is winning. But the spider it hunts, the one we've all grown up fearing, is still out there. And that is exactly where this list ends. Number 13. Black Widow. And so we end with the most famous spider in the world. You already know this one. The glossy, ink-black body. The blood-red hourglass underneath. It's been the villain of 100 films and 1,000 nightmares. And unlike most spiders on this list, you don't have to travel to a jungle or a desert to find it. It might be in your garage, your woodpile, the boot by your back door. Right now, the female is the one to fear, and she bites only when she's trapped against your skin. At first, the bite feels like almost nothing, a pinprick. Then the venom hits your nerves, and your body turns on itself. Your muscles lock, your stomach goes so rigid that doctors have mistaken it for appendicitis and rushed victims into surgery, only to find a spider was to blame. Here is a real one. A 3-year-old boy pulled on his boots one morning. A black widow was hiding inside. It bit the top of his foot. His parents found the spider and carried it to the hospital. The pain was so fierce that even morphine couldn't quiet it, and he spent 2 days in care before the venom let go. He recovered completely, and that's the honest ending. For all its dark fame, the black widow rarely kills anymore. With antivenom and modern care, most people are fine within a day or two. In the United States, no one has died from its bite since 1983. So here is the strange truth this whole list leaves us with. The most famous killer spider on Earth is nowhere near the deadliest. The truly deadly ones, the funnel web, the recluse, the sand spider, almost none of us will ever meet. And the one most likely to be near you, right now, is the one you've known by name your whole life. So, the promise. If one of these ever bites you, here's what to do. Stay calm. Don't cut the wound. Don't suck out the venom. That's the mistake that can cost you everything. Remember Matthew, the boy bitten by the funnel web? His family wrapped his arm tight with a shirt before they drove him to hospital. That pressure slowed the venom down, and that is what saved his life. If you've ever been bitten, or you know someone who has, tell us your story in the comments. We read every one.